After pulling into the far slot in the garage, I hit the close button on my remote. The garage door slowly shut out the sunset as I gathered my briefcase and phone. David's car hood was warm, so I knew he hadn't been here that long. Entering the house, I saw a glass of Chablis waiting for me. Kicking off my heels, I set my briefcase on the kitchen table and took a sip. The view was magnificent, as was the taste of this wine. As I entered the living room, I announced my arrival. "Are you upstairs?" I announced. "About time. The bathtub is filling. Did you see the glass of wine on the counter?" "Not only did I see it, it's already half gone. I hope you have the bottle up there. Ready or not, here I come. Did you remember to pick up the lube?" I asked. "Duh! And risk missing out? Get serious!" Bouncing up the stairs, I found David in his birthday suit. I set my glass of wine down so I could unbutton my blouse. With his mouth opened wide, he waited for me to undress myself. Once the clothes were off, we engaged in our usual night of infidelity. After doing the deed, I went to shower alone. After drying off, I put a robe on and found David in the kitchen. The sushi, recently delivered, was very filling. David does have exquisite taste in wine and food. He is such a confident man. He takes what he wants, and he wants me. There's something about the aura of power. David was spent, so we spent the rest of the evening catching up on work. Classical music had a calming effect on me. We spooned after retiring for the night. The alarm went off as scheduled. He showered in the guest bedroom while I did the same in the master bedroom. We left simultaneously with the intent of heading into work. David and I walked through the kitchen to get into the garage. He hit the button to open the double-wide garage door. Mine was the further car. As I was placing my briefcase in the passenger seat, I heard David scream, "What the hell is this?" I looked in my side rearview mirror and saw what looked like boxes and furniture. They were blocking both cars from getting out. "Damn it! We need to get into the office before 9. There's no way we can miss that meeting," David roared. I responded, "Whose stuff is this? Why is it here?" David snapped at me. "How in the hell am I supposed to know that?" I recoiled at the venom in his voice. "Damn! These boxes are all glued or taped together. This table has to weigh over 100 pounds. Then the aha moment hit me. That was my kitchen table, the one my grandmother had given us when Anton and I got married. My stomach clenched as I checked off all of the furniture belonging to me. The sofa and love seat from our front room, the dining room table and chairs. My guess was that the box springs and mattress must be from our master bedroom. The dresser mirror was smashed. Anton knew how much I loved that mirror. I couldn't hold it in. After sprinting to the side of the driveway, I puked. "What's your problem? I've called for a ride share to take us into the office. The app says it will be here in 10 minutes. If traffic goes smoothly, we'll still have about 30 minutes to get things set up before the meeting." "David, this is my stuff. Anton knows about us." "Oh God, I don't want a divorce," I wailed. "That's just great. We need to get this thing out of here before my wife gets home tonight," David answered. It was my turn to snipe. "Well, big shot. What kind of plan do you have? We need to be in that meeting, and if history repeats, we won't be done until about 3. That means someone else needs to move this." "Well?" David was on the phone again. He was stomping around near the road when he screamed, "Hell!" I knew better than to speak. He was beaten red as he marched towards me. "The main road is blocked. Some idiot crashed on the bridge. Red lines in both directions on maps. The ride share just canceled as it's almost 40 miles to get here using the alternate route." My phone dinged as an email arrived. It was from Anton, my husband of 10 years. The email wasn't addressed just to me, as I was one of about 50 CC'd parties. It was also sent to the president of the company we were meeting with this morning to discuss merger details. "Leah and David regret to inform you that they were so busy disrespecting their wedding vows that they failed to make appropriate contingency plans. Please see any of the videos attached to get a sample of what I'm talking about. Some of you will get to work with my attorney as we sort out who owes what. Regards, Anton Marino." For the second time in 5 minutes, I cleared my gut, this time down to the dry heaves. "What in the hell is your problem, woman?" David asked. "Check your email, jerk," I recoiled. After 15 seconds, he replied, "I'll kill that mother flipper." I stayed on my knees as I wasn't certain that I could balance on my wobbly legs. Anton was good. He was not just out of town, he was in London. At least that's what I thought. If he was, he'd arranged for someone to empty our house of my belongings and block David's garage door with them. The attached videos in the email were certain to get David and me fired. Two things I loved more than anything, my husband and my job, gone for a meaningless short-term affair. When my cell phone rang, it was my personal secretary. In my best cheery voice, I answered, "Good morning, Anne." "Not really, Leah. HR had security empty your office. When you arrive, your badge won't work. Security will come to get you. I hope it was worth it, Leah. Goodbye," she answered. My tear ducts were already sore, but something told me I was far from done crying. David yelled at me, "Uber has a car in the area. We can still get to the office by 10. I looked up with my mascara-stained face. "It doesn't matter, David. I've already been fired." "What are you talking about? How do you know that?" David asked. "Anne called me. Security emptied my office." "Have you even talked to anyone?" I asked. "No. I sent Brett a text saying our road was blocked. He had the meeting pushed back an hour. Hell, I guess I better check in," David answered. Body language told it all. From standing proud and confident to slumped shoulders and shuffling his feet while he trudged towards me. "Get your stuff off of my property," he roared. I was shocked at the tone of David's voice. His wild eyes had me thinking that he might get violent. I tried calling my brother to see if he could help. It went to messages. When I tried our best friends in the neighborhood, they hung up on me. It took about a dozen calls before my pastor said he would see what he could do. Reflecting on my poor choices, the next 15 minutes crawled by. David came out of the house. He smelled like booze. "I told you to get your stuff off of my property!" he roared once again. Raising my voice to the 3rd level, I answered, "I'm working on it! Back off!" The pastor called back and said a couple of guys would be here in about 90 minutes. When David reappeared an hour later, he was drunk. Worse than that, he was waving a pistol around. "When are you going to get this crap out of here?" he slurred. "Somebody is supposed to be here soon," I replied. David pushed the gun above his head and fired twice at the angels. "I want it gone now!" he roared. There was nowhere for me to hide. If he's going to kill me, I have no defense. Thankfully, David turned his heels and went back inside. 10 minutes later, 2 sheriff's cars pulled up. An officer from each car scrambled to grab their assault rifles, and then they squatted down around the boxes. After using bullhorns to warn David of the consequences, a very drunk moron emerged with empty hands above his head. Even though the helpers from the church arrived as promised, the scene was now cordoned off with yellow tape. I begged the guys to stay, but they left. The good news was that David was also gone. The deputies had arrested him for discharging his firearm. The hits just kept coming. As I needed to charge my phone, I sat in my car hooked to the USB port. I had plenty of battery, but noticed that there were no bars. The phone had worked fine earlier. When I tried to do anything, I received the no service little red box. "Damn it, Anton. How can we work this out if you keep doing things like this?" The neighbors, who had watched David being hauled off, had long ago dissipated. When I knocked on the first door, they simply told me, "Go away or we will call the police." I probably walked a mile before someone would let me make a call. The pastor said he would come to get me. When I made it back to David's place, 3 boys were going through my boxes. They got a big kick out of holding up my undergarments. "Hey, get away from there!" was about all I could do. They didn't appear to be very scared of me. "Model these for us, lady," they replied. I had nothing. In my condition, there's no way I could battle 3 kids, or for that matter, even 1. They got a big kick out of emptying my dainties onto the driveway. The sun was sinking in the western sky. Hopefully, the pastor gets here before David's wife. I haven't eaten all day and puking had left me a little dehydrated. Was I breaking the law being inside of the yellow tape? Would I get in more trouble if I helped myself to some of David's beer and snacks? Having that beer wasn't the smartest thing I've done today. Hell, have I done anything smart today? When Reverend Thomas tapped on his horn, I pulled my tear-soaked hands away from my face. I wobbled to his car, taking my purse, keys, phone, and briefcase with me. I was holding my high heels by the straps. Too bad I wasn't smart enough to grab a pair of tennis shoes. There had to be several to choose from in one of those boxes. "That's your stuff in the driveway, Leah?" he asked. "It's all of my belongings. Apparently my husband found out about my affair and emptied our house." In a quiet, condescending voice, he replied, "I see. Damn it. I need somebody to shout at me. I messed up. I know it." "You called from 2 different phone numbers. When I tried calling you back on the first number, it said that the phone number was no longer in service," he asked. "It stopped working shortly after I talked with you the first time. Anton's handiwork, I suspect." "Quite the mess you've made of your life, Leah. What are your plans?" he asked. "I don't know. I need to get my stuff out of that driveway, but it's inside the yellow tape, so I don't know the legalities," I answered. "I'll make a call and get some advice. Did you want to stop by your house and see what's left?" he asked. With tears leaking down my face, I answered, "Please." We rode in silence until the good Reverend pulled into my driveway. There were no lights on. My key still worked, but my heart bounced off of the empty floor. Everything was gone but the dust balls. The enormity of it knocked me to my knees. He's gone. We're done. And for what? "Reverend, I need to eat. Can I buy you dinner?" I asked. "A quick one. I have some marriage counseling sessions tonight. You and Anton should try to get on my calendar," he answered. I sobbed an unintelligible, "Will do." When I went to pay for dinner, my credit cards didn't work. Of course they didn't. Why should I be so stupid to think that Anton would forget about those? Fortunately, I had enough cash. Should I waste my time checking to see if my ATM card works? I did. It didn't. Borrowing an air mattress and some blankets from the Reverend, I spent the night in the echo chamber formerly known as my house. The pastor picked me up in the morning and allowed me to use his phone. Telling my parents what I'd done was very painful. I begged for their help. My father deferred to my mother. After we talked a bit longer, she said they would drive up tomorrow as my father had a doctor's appointment today. My parents did help me secure 2 rental vans. I assisted 2 young men from the church loading all of the boxes and furniture into the 2 vans. Many of my boxes had been looted. I don't know what Anton did with my jewelry. It was worth a bunch, but only time would tell if it was in one of the boxes. The entire time we were loading my things, a verbally abusive woman ripped me up one side and down the other. She made it very clear that she was David's soon-to-be ex-wife and that I should be very afraid. I believe her. She was very angry. After loading the vans, her driveway was clear. I backed my car out of David's garage. Life isn't difficult when things work. It is unbelievably difficult when nothing works. The young men followed me home, and an hour later I was alone with my belongings and my tears. According to the digital fuel gauge, I had 280 miles left before hitting empty. My first stop was the bank. Our accounts had a hold on them. My pleas for cash fell on deaf ears. If I had some money, they'd let me open my own account. This is like that chicken and egg thing. My last paycheck needs to go into an account which I can't open without that last paycheck. Why can't they just cut me a paper check? The next stop was the cell phone store. If I could provide a valid credit card, they would reinstate service on my previous number. I knew I had a credit card with a small limit, in my name only. The trouble was I never carried that card. I really needed to go through all of those boxes and see what was there. I spent the next few hours searching for that credit card. My jewelry was with my shoes. Eventually, I did find that credit card, and an hour later my cell phone service was working again. I left a voice message on Anton's phone. I seriously doubted that he would respond, but he proved me wrong when his ringtone played. "Anton, I'm sorry. Please believe me," I pleaded. "Sorry? Really? What exactly are you sorry about?" he asked. "Not being the wife I promised to be. We belong together," I cried. "Not happening. How many other times have you exposed me to some jerk's STDs?" he asked. "David is the only other man I've been with. We got too close at work and things just happened," I pleaded. "Well, I felt that if you were going to play house with David, then you might as well have all of those things you cried and moaned about until I got them for you." "I'm sorry, Anton. Where is your stuff?" I asked. "In storage. You can have the house. Hey, you can turn it into a cheating woman's house. Get it? A cheating women's house," he roared. "Anton, please, when are you coming home?" I asked. "Don't really know if I'll even come back to the States. Jeff Jenkins tells me you'll be served tomorrow," he replied. "Anton, I don't want a divorce. You know you'll have to pay me alimony now that I'm unemployed." "You keep thinking that, sweetheart. You trusted me too much. I had you sign a second mortgage application a few weeks ago. After getting the loan approved, I immediately converted all that cash into Bitcoin. Likewise, all of my retirement plans are coming with me. All of our accounts have holds on them. You'll eventually gain access to that money, but it will take time. You're welcome. I've quit my job and am starting a new life. This is the last phone call I'll make with this phone. Tag, you're it. It will take time, but you'll eventually find me cheating woman." "No, we can work this out, Anton," I pleaded. No response, so I tried again. "Anton!" Damn it. He disconnected. I called him back, but a strange voice answered. "Who's calling?" "Is Anton there?" I asked. "Who's Anton? Is that the guy who just gave me this phone? Are you the cheating woman he said would be calling? When do you want to get together, honey? He said you're not very good, but at least you're cheap." This time it was me hanging up. A minute later, Anton's phone called again. "Anton?" I asked. "No cheating, woman. Don't hang up on me. Do you still live at 1440 Jackson? Me and the boys are feeling frisky." I hung up as my heart started racing. Did this mean Anton wasn't really in London? He not only gave his phone to some sicko, but our address too? I called the police, who were less than concerned. Call them when someone is breaking in or at my door. I gave them Anton's cell phone number, but the officer claimed that it went to voicemail. Feeding myself from the Dollar Tree wasn't a very balanced diet, but it was cheap. While I choked down the food, a sedan pulled up. I raced upstairs and watched from the bedroom window. The car sat there for 5 minutes before leaving. I was terrified. One of the problems with having my cell phone number reinstated was that jerks like David could call me. It was around midnight and the jerk was drunk. It was somehow my fault that his wife was divorcing him. Fearing that gun he had brandished previously, I let him rant until he got bored and hung up. After days of resorting to crying, I was now stoic. Nothing seemed to matter enough to shed a tear. I was just beginning to pay the price. Dad helped me move my stuff to a storage unit. I was back living at home, only this time in the basement, as my former bedroom had been converted into a sewing room for my mom. It's been 2 years since that fateful day. Wherever Anton is, I wish him well. I screwed the pooch, but nothing like the number he did on me. Our house went into foreclosure, but at least I only owed a little after it settled. If I win the lottery, I may track him down, just so I can vent at him. I've vented at him about 1,000 times, to our wedding picture, that is. It helps me deal with the reality I dealt with myself. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.